Olá pessoal, seja muito bem-vindo ao podcast Two Steps Ahead. Eu sou Alexandre Faustino, host desse podcast e tive o privilégio de, no nosso episódio número 1, receber na sede da R70, a primeira empresa fundada por mim depois de fazer a transição de uma carreira executiva, o Gary Lee. O Gary tem uma história fantástica de vida e também uma história muito interessante profissional. Ele se formou em engenharia lá na China, se tornou um executivo de negócios, mas hoje é sócio de uma das principais desenvolvedoras de soluções automotivas na China, parceira e aliada da R70 há bastante tempo. Nesse podcast número 1, nós recebemos o Gary na sede da R70 e foi de lá que nós gravamos todo o conteúdo que você conhece a partir de agora. Antes de fazer a transição para o nosso podcast gravado com o Gary, eu te encorajo a seguir o nosso podcast aqui nessa rede social. Clique no sininho para que você receba todo o novo conteúdo que for disponibilizado e também me siga em todas as minhas redes sociais que estão aparecendo aqui embaixo, pois esse podcast é uma plataforma de comunicação desenvolvida cuidadosamente para te ajudar a acelerar a sua carreira ou a sua empresa. Eu e toda a minha equipe estamos ansiosos para receber os seus comentários, as suas sugestões e as suas dúvidas. Compartilhe com seus amigos, porque assim você também será um influenciador baseado na verdade, na transparência e em jornadas profissionais e pessoais incríveis. O podcast Two Steps Ahead está no ar.
Olá pessoal, hoje é um dia muito importante para mim e para toda a gente aqui da nossa R70. Desde que começou a pandemia do coronavírus em janeiro de 2020, nós fomos impedidos de receber aqui no escritório da R70 em São Paulo os nossos parceiros de negócios, fornecedores chineses. E a China é um grande aliado do nosso país. Para ter uma ideia, de acordo com o Ministério da Economia, no terceiro trimestre do ano passado, as nossas exportações para a China totalizaram quase 23 bilhões de dólares. O nosso segundo parceiro comercial é a União Europeia. Todos os países juntos da União Europeia compraram do Brasil 13,7 bilhões de dólares. Ou seja, a China sozinha compra muito mais do Brasil do que todos os países da União Europeia juntos. E se a gente pensar nos Estados Unidos, que é a primeira potência global, os Estados Unidos compraram do Brasil, ainda de acordo com o Ministério da Economia, no terceiro trimestre do ano passado, 10 bilhões de dólares. E aí a gente pode fazer uma pergunta. Poxa, peraí, o Brasil exportou para a China no terceiro trimestre do ano passado 22 bilhões de dólares. Mas quanto que o Brasil importou da China? Essa conta é positiva ou negativa? O Brasil importou 17 bilhões da China. Então, nós vendemos 22 e importamos 17. A China é o maior parceiro comercial do Brasil, seja na exportação ou na importação. E aqui na R70, desde o princípio, os nossos grandes parceiros de negócios estão na China. Então, 3 anos e meio depois, a gente tem a felicidade de receber hoje o Gary, um parceiro comercial de longa data. Nós tivemos pela manhã uma reunião fechada de negócios entre as empresas e nós o convidamos para que a gente tivesse agora à tarde um momento mais descontraído, onde ele contasse para a gente como é que tem sido a trajetória profissional dele. Então, a partir de agora, vamos conversar com o Gary. Hello, Gary. Welcome
Hi,
to
Alex.
AR70. How are you doing?
Thank you, I'm good. Thank you. How are you?
Good, I'm very good. When did you arrive in Brazil, Gary?
I arrived here last Tuesday, this week.
Last Tuesday.
Yes.
And is this your first time here?
No, it's, I think, 5 or 6 times.
5 or 6 times.
Yes.
And which city did you visit in Brazil in the other times?
In my memory, I think I have just visited 2 cities. Sao Paulo, another one, I think the name is Curitiba.
Curitiba.
I'm not sure if I pronounce it to the real name, but it's Curitiba, a very quiet small town.
Yes.
I think Renault, the automakers there, right?
Yes. We used to say Renault, but Renault.
Ah, okay.
The French one.
Yes.
Good. Is in Curitiba. Very nice place.
Mhm.
We love Curitiba.
Yes.
Curitiba is very nice. And when are you going to leave?
I leave this Saturday afternoon.
And are you going back to China directly?
No, I will stay another week in Santiago, Chile, and then the next Saturday I fly back to China.
So approximately 1 week in Brazil, another week in Chile,
Yes.
and then fly back to China.
Correct.
Good. And Gary, is this your first trip after the pandemic?
Yes, it's the first time after pandemic. We wait for 3 years for this trip.
Very good. And tell me something. What do you like here in Brazil? What do you do when you are here?
I do the business, of course. I work for my company. This is the meaning for this trip. But I like a lot of things in Brazil. The first, I think the most famous for Chinese guy is football. So World Cup happened this year. So I'm the fan of the player Neymar. Neymar, yes, very nice haircut and very skilled. So the first purpose is for football. I think I should visit maybe some museum of football here in Sao Paulo. And then the second thing I like is I can see the food. You eat a lot of meat. The
Yes.
Brazilian barbecue here is very nice.
Yes.
Yes.
Say churrasco.
Churrasco.
Yeah, churrasco is barbecue in Portuguese.
Oh, churrasco.
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 Bom churrasco.
Bom churrasco.
Bom churrasco is a good barbecue.
Ah, good barbecue. Okay. I will try
Yeah.
to test.
Good.
Okay.
Good. Have you been in a football stadium
No, I
in
just
Brazil?
no,
No,
never.
never.
I never watched the game alive in live. I mean, I always watch on the TV.
Good. In China, what is the most common sport? It's not football, right?
No, for students, maybe football or basketball, because about the facility, only in high school you will have a football yard and the basketball yard. But in university, you have everything: tennis, swimming pools, table tennis, everything. But I think young people like football and basketball, these two main sports.
And is there any league of basketball you usually follow in China? I mean, is a national league or American league like NBA?
Yeah,
So,
we have
what do you follow?
we have our own league. It's called CBA, but I cannot name any player's name because it's not that famous. But NBA is more popular in China. People can name LeBron James and Curry.
Curry.
Yeah, it's good 3-point bar player. A lot of players we can name. So it's more popular for NBA instead of CBA.
And football, what do you usually follow?
I don't follow too much. I just see some news. But when the World Cup happened, I follow some teams. And this time I follow a lot Argentina, and they won. Of course, in the beginning, I follow a lot Brazil. Play very, very good. I love the team. I think in your team, Brazilian team, at least 5 or 6 person have the same hairstyle.
Yes.
They color to white.
Yes.
Very interesting.
Yes.
So I love a lot.
But I tell you something.
Mhm.
You are here to do business
Yes.
with us,
Mhm.
Brazilians.
Yes.
And you are talking about Argentina.
Yeah, it's not good.
Not good. Not good. You could say Chile, France, or China, but don't say Argentina.
Yeah, now I'm the fans of France.
Just kidding. You know, we use it to have to see Argentina as one of the country where we love to go.
Mhm.
Argentina is very close to Brazil, especially for wine lovers.
Yeah.
They love to go to Argentina. Also, the atmosphere in Argentina is very nice. We like Argentina people.
Mhm.
But if we talk about football, and then no Argentina.
I
But
know.
you know, just kidding. Last World Cup, many people, including me,
Mhm.
were supporting Argentina, especially after the elimination of Brazil,
Mhm.
because Argentina has a very special soccer player who is Messi.
Messi, yes.
Yes, and then I would say most of the football lovers like Messi so much.
Yes.
And we were happy finally to see that Messi won his first World Cup. Very nice.
Yes.
And Gary, may I ask you, how old are you?
Yeah, I'm 36 this year.
36.
I was born 1987.
1987.
Yes.
Very good. And where is your hometown?
My hometown, the province called Heilongjiang. The city is the capital of Heilongjiang province called Harbin.
Harbin.
Yes, Harbin.
Harbin.
Yes, it's a city very cold with 4 seasons very clearly different and very near to Russia.
Wow.
Yes, and also very near to North Korea.
Wow.
Yes.
And there is snow there?
Snow, you mean?
Snow?
Yes, of course. In winter, we have very long winter. Every year, the winter starts from November to the next April. So Harbin City is another name in China called Ice City, ICE, because people believe that city made by ice because of the long water. And every January 5th, we have a festival of winter. It's very famous. So try to visit Harbin in winter.
In the winter, especially,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So I can see some statues or some cities made by ice.
Yes.
Yes.
Some castle made by big ice cube, and people can live inside, can even eat the hot pot inside. Very interesting.
Wow. Hot pot inside
In the
the
room of
ice.
ice. Yes.
Should be nice. And what do you drink there?
People in my hometown, some style like Russian people. Russian people drink vodka. And in our city, we normally, for normal dinner, we drink beer. In Harbin is a famous brand for beer. I think is the second place. You must know the brand of Qingdao.
Yes.
Qingdao beer is the top.
Yes.
The second one is Harbin. Harbin is the name of that city, also the name of the beer. So mostly we drink beers. But when CNY comes or other festivals, we drink some Chinese liquor also.
Baijiu.
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 Yeah, perfect.
Okay, good. And then tell me something. A couple of years ago, I was in a dinner with a supplier, and then my supplier asked me if I want to drink wine, and then I said yes, and he asked me red wine or white wine. Since we were in the summer in the south of China, I said white, and then he said, "Are you sure that you need white wine?" And for us here in Brazil, white wine is very common. And I say, yes, no problem. And he said, okay, do you need a glass or a bottle? And then I said, so if you are going to follow me, bottle. He said, oh, okay, I will follow you. But small bottle or big bottle? And I said, oh, big bottle, but is there any issue with the wine? He said, no issue at all. Well, when the bottle came, it was not white wine. It was Baijiu, and Baijiu significa cachaça.
Yeah.
Right? And the alcohol level is more than 50, right?
Yeah, normally 52.
52.
Yes.
Good. And then I had to drink cachaça. Baijiu.
Yeah.
But I have a question. When we say red wine, we are saying in English 2 words. The color, red, and wine.
Yeah.
Right? When you translate to Chinese, I suppose red is red in Chinese. It's a color, right?
Yes.
How to say red?
It's called hong.
Home.
Yeah, like home. It's hong.
Home.
Yeah.
And wine?
Jiu.
Jiu.
Yes.
Why white wine is not white wine?
Yeah, I think it's something about you directly make some translation and then offer some confusion to foreign people. Normally we say white wine. If you translate, it's indeed white equal to bai, is Chinese, okay, the color.
Sure.
And wine again is jiu, okay. But normally we use bai jiu equals to Chinese liquor. It's like whiskey is a lot of degree. But if you're talking about white wine in Western world, it's something like made by grape, right?
Yes.
We call it 白葡萄酒. So you separate 白酒 and put the word for grape 葡萄 inside. Okay, before is 白酒, now 白葡萄酒. So next time,
白葡萄酒.
yes.
So, but that Chinese supplier, ex-supplier, you know why? No. Ex-supplier asked me white wine only. And okay, if you want me to offer Chinese liquor in English, how to explain white wine? There is no other translation?
Usually we use Chinese liquor.
Chinese liquor.
Yeah, just would you like some Chinese liquor? Strong one or mild one? Something like this.
Very good, thank you. So you was born very far away of the south.
Yes.
And now, where do you live?
I live in Guangzhou now.
Guangzhou.
Yes.
In the south.
Yes.
It's Canton province, right?
Correct.
Okay. How far is your hometown to Guangzhou?
I think it's 3,500 kilometers. 5 hours flight.
5 hours flight.
Yeah.
So it's quite similar to fly from São Paulo to Manaus, or even longer. It's from Porto Alegre to Manaus.
Maybe.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But in Manaus, which is in the north of the country, the temperature is very high and also very humid, and we have the forest, the Amazon.
Jungles.
Jungles, yes. We don't have ice, we don't have mountains, we don't have vodka, but we have jungles. So, and one day you decided to move from your hometown to the south. So how was it?
Just when I graduate from my university. I think the age is 23. When I graduate, I decide to work in the southeast city. The first city was Shenzhen, not Guangzhou. The reason is that for my major in university, I was studying EE, electronic engineering. So it's not that easy to find correct or proper job in northeast cities. In my hometown, all the companies are for very heavy industry. The company for mining, to pick the copper under the ground, something like this. Or they make the steel very heavy, not like electronic industry. So I have to move to southeast cities.
So you don't have in the north of China electronic industry, right?
Not that developed, I can say. Yeah.
So is right to say that in China, according to the region, you have different industries then?
Yes, correct.
Is that right?
Right.
So, and electronic is in the south of China?
Usually in the south and east, near the coast, near the sea, because they need to export. So always near the harbor, who can export.
Due to the export.
Right.
Any relation with Taiwan and Hong Kong, or not related?
Before was highly related, but now I think it's okay. Taiwan can do nothing about the economy in China. I can see this nowadays. But Hong Kong, before we use Hong Kong companies for receiving dollars. But now I think maybe 7 or 8 years before, China government released the policy. Now companies in Guangzhou, in Shenzhen, they can receive dollars by themselves.
Because in the past, it was not possible.
It's possible, but not that easy. You need to get a lot of authorization from the government, maybe.
So now you don't need Hong Kong anymore. You can receive the money directly from me, for example.
I can see we don't have any more reasons to use Hong Kong middle company.
I see. So, and then you were born close to Russia.
Right.
You graduated there.
Yes.
I suppose the university was there, right?
Yeah.
And then you studied EE.
Yes.
Electric engineering.
Yes.
Right? And why did you decide to study engineering?
It's a long story. As you know, every Chinese high school students, when the end of the first year, you need to decide 2 directions, usually. One is like science or some major according to the science, mathematics, electronic, some physical or something, okay? Another direction is something like you learn Chinese, traditional Chinese, or economy, maybe, or some psychology to cure people's mind, something like this. So usually, as a boy, I do better for my physical or mathematics, so I choose the first direction. And for this reason, when I enter to university, I can choose something like double E, or communication information, something you do for the cell phone, similar major. So that's the reason.
I see. And how about your parents? Did they are they from the same hometown?
Yes,
Same.
yes.
And did they have the chance to go to the university?
No, in their generation, they don't have chance because they have high school degree, but after graduate from high school, they decide to work because by that time they are both the workers in national company because we are communist society. Most companies at that age are owned by country. So they are directly go to the national company. No need to go to university.
Both, father and mother.
Father and mother, yes.
And do you have brothers or sisters?
No.
Only you.
Only you.
Only you. And then when you were in the elementary school or high school, did you receive any recommendation from your father and mother to say, so son, go to the graduation, it will be good for you? You had this kind of mentorship from them, or you decided by yourself?
I can say mostly I decide by myself because they don't have much more idea which major is better for future or something. I choose by myself.
And where do they live now?
They live also in Guangzhou, just same neighborhood than mine.
So they moved from the north to the south?
Yes.
Together with you?
Yes.
Later, before?
Just 1 year before.
1 year before?
Yes.
So they moved first, and then you moved?
Yes.
Good. And nowadays, do you need to take care of them? Economically, I mean.
Yeah. I pay the rent of apartment monthly, but they pay the daily usage of other things by themselves.
Are they retired?
Already. They both retired.
And so as retired, they receive some money from the government, right?
Yes, yes.
Good, good. And it's right to say that in China, it's quite common for sons to take care of the parents or move the parents to the son's house even after marriage?
Yes, it's
still common.
Still common. I can say this traditional of Chinese people. When people raise their kids, especially the sons, they prefer to live with the sons. If you have 2 or 3 sons, I believe the first one will be the obligation to raise the parents.
No matter if you are talking about sons or daughter, or mostly sons?
Mostly sons, because daughter need to move to the home of his husband.
So, and then she cannot take the parents together?
No, no way.
The husband will not accept?
Normally, no.
No.
Except the husband home is very rich. They don't care something, maybe.
Good. And about your grandpa and grandma?
I have a grandmother, my mother's mother.
Mother's mother.
Yeah.
Where does she live?
Also the same apartment with my parents.
Great. Interesting. You are one, Gary.
Yes.
Single or married?
Married.
Married. So, Gary and wife.
Yes.
Do you have kids?
Not yet.
Not yet. So, 2 of you. And then your father.
Yes.
And then your mother.
Yes.
And then your grandmother. So you are a part of 5, right? How about your wife's father and mother?
She only have mother and father, but no grandparents.
So, and who takes care of her father and mother?
Her mother is still working now. Father, I think, already retired, okay, but also get pensions money from government. So nobody take care.
Nobody takes it.
Nobody. They enjoyed their life. They don't want to live with us.
Good.
Mhm.
So I would say that's why usually, at least in the past, a couple would love to have boys,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Because the boys will take care of them in the future. Is that
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
So it is, and the culture is still there, or you believe that in the generation of your kids, the situation will be different?
I believe the situation will change because, like I introduced, my wife's parents, they enjoy the life without my wife. Okay, I believe when me and my wife getting older, we don't want to live with our kids. Maybe because we enjoy two people's life.
Very good. And about the company. So
Yeah.
you moved from the north to the south after graduation, right?
Right.
And then, so where did you work for the first time?
First time I work in Shenzhen.
Shenzhen.
Yes.
Doing what?
I do as a electronic engineer for making the TV. I design the PCBA for TV.
Wow.
Yes.
So, and how long did you work there?
In total, I worked for 3 years.
3 years. And then you tried to move.
Yeah. Accidentally, I was found by my current, not owner, but manager at that time. He found me and introduced me to move from Shenzhen to Guangzhou. But position is also engineer for TV. So they gave better salary and good future opportunity. And for these reasons, I moved.
And at that time, were you single or already married?
Single,
Single.
very young that time, 26. Yes.
26. And then, so more money on the table and a prediction of a better future.
Yes.
So let's move from Shenzhen to Guangzhou.
Yes, this is just one of the reasons. The second reason, by that time, the price of an apartment in Shenzhen is extremely high. People, especially young people, cannot see very clear future. Maybe my job is quite basic. I cannot make a lot of savings. But if you let me choose again, I will still choose Guangzhou. It's more like people who can live there. In Shenzhen, you're just working, making money for your life, not enjoy too much.
Talking about working hard.
Yeah.
There is a concept named 996.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And 996 means you start working at 9, you stop working at 9, from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. and 6 times a week.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Is this concept still valid nowadays? I mean, people will still work from 9 to 9, 6 times a week?
Still, but not popular in China. Some companies still use this way to encourage employees to work, but mostly are very small companies. They are doing the job of software because engineer who can stay longer in the office, who can coding more. So the manager maybe want the employees to work longer days. But actually, most companies nowadays released more freedom to employees. You can choose your working time. Like my company, we don't have people who give the card to register in the morning. We don't have this.
No.
You can select. You can be in office at 7 a.m. or 10 or 11. Depends on you. So it's more flexible.
But how the company knows if you are there, if you don't need to register?
They don't really care you are there or not. But when they have some missions or things to reach you, they will call you. At that time, you are not there, will have some inconveniences, troubles.
And I suppose your company is not traditional in terms of rules, right?
Yes.
It's like 2 steps ahead. By
Yeah.
the way, 2 steps ahead is our slogan.
Yes.
But your company seems to be 2 steps ahead too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So is there anything else that your company has or offer to the employees that is not common in China?
It's really special for our company Some people say our company is something like Chinese version Google. We offer a lot of things to make employees enjoy the staying in office. We offer the kindergarten for babies. So every morning, the parents go to work. They can drive together the kids and send the kids stay in our kindergarten.
Same build.
Same building, just in the roof, the top floor. And we also run some clinic who can take care of your health. Every year we invite our parents twice per year to make the body test. And the doctor will suggest you will make more exercise. You cannot eat too much oil, fried food, something like this. Give you suggestions. And if they found something wrong with your body, they can book the hospital for you and make you do some surgery or other deeper check.
And how many people work there?
In the clinic?
No, in your company.
Now it's over 8K.
8K.
Yeah.
So the company has to have clinic or kindergarten considering 8,000 people.
Yes, that's why our clinic is always full booked. And by 2019, one clinic, one hospital cannot serve all the employees and employees' parents. That's why we open another in Suzhou. We use a whole building specially for our clinic.
The entire building just for clinic?
Yes.
Wow. And how many works are in Suzhou?
For that clinic, I believe there may be over 300.
No, workers for the clinic, but I mean the employees.
Employees?
Yeah.
Not too many. Most people work for that clinic. Others is just for small business. Maybe 500 in total.
Good. And then, so in this new company, the Chinese version of Google company, right?
Yeah.
By the way, Google is still not allowed in China, right?
The servers of the search is not allowed, but others, I think, should be okay.
How do you see that?
It's okay. Every country has its own search engine. Maybe China, because China is a big market, our government maybe don't want the giant company like Google to dominate the market so early. So they protect, our own search engine called Baidu.
Baidu.
Yes. Now we have Baidu, Google, and Bing from Microsoft. So in the beginning, we controlled only Baidu, but now we open somehow.
I see. And in Brazil, for example, we used to say, "Let me Google something."
Yeah.
If I have to search for a specific website, I say, "So I make a Google." And what do you say in China? Let me make a Baidu?
Yes, very similar.
Really?
Yes. If you don't know anything, Baidu 一下.
Baidu? Baidu?
Baidu 一下.
一下.
Means go to Baidu or something.
And also Facebook is not only Facebook, but Facebook and Instagram not allowed in China, right?
No, but you can do through some VPNs.
But officially without VPN, it's still not allowed.
Still not.
But you have social media in China.
Yes.
Like Facebook.
Like Facebook, we have a lot. Facebook equal to China version a lot. I cannot name too many. For example, Twitter equal to Chinese version, we call it Weibo, Sina Weibo. Same thing. Instagram, a lot of apps. And you may know TikTok is from
very
China.
Famous here.
Yeah, for videos. Every application or every web service we have our own in China.
I see.
Yeah.
And how is your mind as Chinese that you don't have freedom to use Google or Instagram or Facebook? You are limited to use what the government allows. In Brazil or in US, in Argentina, in Chile, where you are going next week. So you are free to access whatever you want. How do you see that?
It's nothing different for me. First reason is that in many companies in China, companies have a special server. So employees can visit YouTube, Google, anything. Because for business development, it's necessary to use Google, okay? Especially when you want to find some overseas customers. So most companies already have this own VPN. So it's not so fresh things for us to visit Google or YouTube. Another thing is nowadays young people, Chinese people have a lot of channel to learn information, news of the global world. We don't account too much mainstream media like BBC, CNN. It's nothing about us. They always report negative news of China. And if you visit YouTube, the most clicked videos is talking about China negative or fake news or something. We don't feel interesting on that because we live inside of China. We know what happened. So not so attractive, that word, yes.
Do you like China?
Of course. I remember a very interesting not story. Some people says, if Chinese now not satisfied with their country, why every year so many people like me visit and return? They can choose stay there, okay, make some basic work, wash the dishes in some restaurant, make a life, right?
Yeah.
But people go outside and then return. Maybe every year 100 million people going outside and return, Chinese citizens.
Do you feel safe when you are in China?
Yes.
So if you have to go out in the middle of the night, you don't feel worried?
No.
No.
You can sleep on the street. Nobody can do anything harm to you.
Very interesting. You know, not a long time ago, but a few years ago, I was talking to a sales assistant of one of the suppliers, and she had studied in California, in US, during the university. And she was telling me that in California, she used it to not feel safe. She said she was very scared to walk in the streets, especially late of night. But in China, she feels absolutely comfortable. She doesn't care about the time. She doesn't care if she's inside a car, walking the streets or using public transportation. Nobody will touch her. So she was very happy, and it's very interesting.
Yeah.
And another very interesting conversation I had in China, I was saying to a friend of mine that in Brazil, we couldn't open our notebook, our laptop inside the subway without being under risk.
Okay.
Yeah. Of course, you can open. It's not forbidden, but I'd say maybe not really safe. And then that friend said, so, but how is possible to be dangerous? Because inside the subway, the metro, you have a lot of people. If somebody tried to take your computer, so the rest of the people will
stop.
Will stop. Will fight against that guy.
Yeah.
But in fact, it doesn't happen here. Even inside the subway, if somebody takes my computer or my phone, most probably nobody will do anything.
They just watch happen.
They just watch.
Okay.
This is very interesting and very different, right? And another big difference, unfortunately for us, of course, a foreigner that visits Brazil, like you, most probably will not walk in downtown late of night. Or if they go out, they will not be feeling themselves safe.
Yeah.
But in China, I feel that I'm always safe. And this is also very, very different and very interesting.
Yeah, it's true.
Very interesting. So coming back to your professional life.
Okay.
Electronic engineer, moved from the north to the south, working as PCBA, TV PCBA engineer.
Yes.
And then moved to the second company to work with TV again.
Yes.
But now you are businessman.
Yes.
So what happened?
Yeah, I think I just worked several months, 3 or 4 months in my new company in Guangzhou by that time. And then I was invited by the sales team for some commercial display. The reason is that the manager of the sales team, he found me, maybe I can put more value in the sales team, because by that time, not every engineer can speak English. not all the engineer guys can explain what happened to our product to a foreign engineer. So they invite me to do this job. And I think I was very lucky. I did very good. And they think, since you can put your value in a new position, why not you move your position to be a sales guy? And then I upgrade myself very quickly, because traditional salesperson, they only learn the skill how to talk, to discuss commercially. But my position is from engineering. So I know what happened inside the product. I can much better convince my customer to buy from me.
Agree, fully agree with you.
Yes.
Agree. And you said one of the reasons was English.
Yes.
You could speak English and most of engineers couldn't.
At that time, yes.
By that time.
Yes.
Okay. Why did you learn English? And when? Because so again, you were the first generation in your home to go to university.
Yeah.
And you said that you decided to go to university by yourself, right? How about the English? When did you understand that English could be important for your career?
Actually, not only me. I think most Chinese students learn English not in universities. They learn, let's say, 80% in high school, because we do pay a lot of our time to learn English in high school instead of university. When I enter university, I only pay maybe several months to pass we call the CET 4 and CET 6. It's 2 examinations. When I passed these 2 examinations, means I was qualified to get chance of new jobs which require English capability. So I really not learned too much in university, but mostly in high school. But anyways, I practice a lot in my job when I become an engineer and salesman.
And at the time you were engineer, did you see the future? I will ask again. When you were working as engineer,
Yeah.
did you had the vision that if you invested in English or if you moved to commercial, your career could be better developed, or it just happened?
I have some vision. Like most company, if you are a freshman, new engineer, normally company will give you a coach who is maybe 10 years or 15 years experience engineer, okay?
Yeah.
He will teach you how to deal with new designs, how to learn diagrams, how to make the testing, validation, a lot of things. My vision by that time is I didn't see my future from my coach. That means I don't want to be my coach 10 years later. So I make some decisions in my heart. I need some change. I don't want to follow my coach steps. So maybe from that time, I decide to go to in front of the chain. I want to be a salesman.
So, and now you are marketing and sales director.
Yes.
What is the next step?
Next step, because for my department, director is the top, and also I was luckily in my company, I was the original founder, one of the original founder. So I already somehow part of the boss for the new company. So I think in future, my value of my career is to transfer all my know-how to my next generation, to the young people. For some projects and some customer experience, I always record and share what happens. People make mistakes every day, but we need to transfer what we learn from our mistakes. We made a lot of lessons learned to our team. And I think this is my value in my rest of my career. I need to copy myself to other galleries to build a team.
Very nice. So at the age of 36, you reached the top. Is this right?
Just consider from the occupation.
Occupation.
Yes.
Yeah. And beyond occupation, what to expect from Gary?
I'm not sure it's a positive value or anything. My personal idea is to retire earlier.
Really?
Yes.
And do what?
Just enjoy my life with my family, not like now every day working. But of course, I need to firstly take care of my company and find a correct, proper guy to take over my jobs. In that way, I can retire.
Good. If you had to tell me the age of your retirement, what would you say?
Of course, the earlier the better. But if I have to put a age, I think at most 50, at latest 50. Yeah, 50 is elder enough.
And do you have plan to have kids?
Yes, my wife is pregnant now.
Pregnant.
Yeah.
So when are you finally going to be a daddy then?
It should be the end of August this year.
August.
Yeah.
August 8.
Yes.
And 8 is the number of lucky in China, right?
Yes.
Do you believe that?
No.
No.
No. I'm the member of Communist Party. We don't believe any God or lucky.
I have a friend from Hong Kong. His wife was born in August 8, 1980.
Okay.
And he used to say, so I'm very lucky because my wife is 88, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but you don't believe in numbers.
We don't
No
believe
matter 8 or 4.
any
all the
number
same.
is fine for me. But I believe your friends need to call the doctor. Hey, you watch your watch and make the correct number for me. If earlier stop, the baby come out.
Yeah, you know, I don't know if first or second time he came down. I was picking up at the airport, and the last digit of my car's plate was 8. And he said, so in Hong Kong, your plate would cost so much because the final is 8. 8 is the number of lucky.
Yeah, if just one number 8 is so. But if your plate is double 8 or 3 or even 4 8, it's really expensive.
So, and then I could be retired, right?
Yes. You can sell your plate and buy maybe kitchen or something, or balcony of a building.
Wow. And tell me something, 50 years old, you'll be retired and enjoy your life with your baby, teenager at that time, right?
Yeah, I wish.
Yeah. And how about the money? Where the money come from?
Of course, I trying hard to make some savings. Yes. And I believe young people save or pay a lot to the pensions. And when you retire, you get this money back from government or from your company.
And what's your option at this time? Is a public pension or private pension?
Now, for me, only public pensions.
Only, and public pension will pay enough for you to spend the rest of your life.
Of course, not enough. I have to make some savings, a big portion of money.
And can you save now?
Yes, I do save something.
So do you have your own home or apartment, house?
Already.
Yes. And
And
do you have to pay for them or already paid?
I think after 3 months later, I clear all the
Wow.
credit.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Congratulations. It's not easy to meet somebody at your age with a clean apartment.
Yeah,
Not
because
easy.
I didn't loan too much money from the bank, so it's easier for me. Another reason, I didn't buy my apartment in Shenzhen. If in Shenzhen, I will take another 30 years to pay the loan.
Guangzhou is still cheaper than Shenzhen.
Of course,
Still nowadays.
still, yeah.
Good. And how about the economic situation in China after the pandemic?
The market demand, of course, recovering from this year, but I think if you compare 2019, it's not that good. People always say 2019 is the best year compared with future years. So economy, maybe in future 5 or 10 years, we will going to be stable, but we didn't expect too much increasing rate.
And in the past, it was allowed to have only one kid.
Yeah.
Right?
Mhm.
But now the government open.
Mhm.
You can have 2 or 3,
Yes,
correct?
correct.
But how about the mindset of Chinese? Because doing 30 or 40 years, the Chinese mindset was, I just can have one, according to the government instruction. Now I'm free to have 2 or 3 or 4, whatever. So, but what do you think about this?
I think, of course, from the government side, they are encouraging young people to have more babies because the population structure of China is turning to be like Japan, elder and elder. And the pension for you retire is shrinking
Yes.
very less. So there was a big discussion about retire age in China just recently. Before, for male, we can retire from age 60. And for female, we can retire from 55. But now government will release the new policy to make male retire from 65 and female to 60. So people not satisfied for this kind of change. But this could be the reality, could be the fact, because if our generation not working longer, we will not have enough money to pay when you getting old. So it's the true situation, reality.
Good. And do you plan to live in your hometown one day?
No, I already have an apartment in Guangzhou.
So you never go back to your hometown for living?
I don't think so. No.
Good. And how about COVID-19?
Mm-hmm.
COVID-19 so changed the world.
Yes.
I truly believe that some change can be seen in the streets, no matter if in Brazil, in US, in Europe, or even in China.
Yes.
But some change, including disturbs, diseases, or mindsets, we'll see and we'll understand just after several years.
Yeah.
For example, I have 2 teenagers and 1 kid. My kid is 9 years old. When the pandemic was raised, she was 5.
Okay.
And then at age of 5, she would have to be playing together with another kid. But she didn't. What will happen for her? I have no idea. We have to wait. And how do you see the pandemic in China? What do you talk about the pandemic in China?
The good thing is, I think, pandemic in people's mind now is gone, because last December nearly every Chinese people infected suddenly, maybe in 1 week or 1 month. But I think the change for people mind side should be the way they treat about their work and family. People see a lot of values to be stay with their families now, and they will see their works not like before, working for money. But people now, after pandemic, they will treasure a lot the time staying with their parents or wife or kids. This is number one. The second impact, I think, should be the way people explore the business. Before the pandemic, we have to reach our customer weekly or every month. But during the training of pandemic, we already get used to make phone call, make the online meetings. It's still going, it works. Just something like work from home, SOHO business. A lot of company, they found, okay, I let my employee, not all, some positions, working at home. It's okay, nothing changed, still get efficiency. So why not let them to get stuck in the traffic jam? So you can work from home. So people change their mind. I will give my example. If you look at my bill every month, every tiny thing I buy, not from the shop, is online. It's very convenient.
Yes.
I buy a shirt, maybe a pen, electronic things, phones, everything. Even the toilet paper I buy from online.
You don't go to the supermarket anymore?
No, I don't remember the last time I go to supermarket. It's a long time ago. This what impact me, my real life about pandemic. Pandemic forbade me to reach people. Even my close friend, I do not have too many party like before. And this make me happier than before, I think. I can say this. Save a lot of time.
Yeah. And January 2020.
Yeah.
So do you remember where you were when the first news about the virus were not?
Yeah, I remember, because that's special. That year is the first year I visit the big family of my wife, because we plan to have my wedding in the middle of 2020. So before that, we have to know the big family of my wife. So during the CNY, I think it's January, middle of January or December maybe, I travel to Hunan province, my wife's hometown, and see the big family. And then me and my wife fly to Harbin, my city, my hometown, to let her know my big family. And suddenly, from the news, I got the information that by that time it's not named COVID, just coronavirus was proved could be effective between peoples. Because before that, people know this virus, but nobody proves can be transferred from people. So suddenly one day in our central media, TV media news, they confirmed. And then we released lockdown in Wuhan, Hubei province. Mm-hmm. But fortunately, we can move in other cities. So I immediately decided to fly from Harbin to Guangzhou.
Immediately.
So
you felt that the situation could be bad.
Yes.
You didn't wait to see.
Yeah, because I have colleagues who live in Hubei province. Every day, not every day, every hour, they update the local policy. Firstly, Wuhan city lockdown. Several hours later, some nearby towns lockdown. So this lockdown like area expand. So people inside Hubei or inside Wuhan called the manager of the company, said, if you are not come back to Guangzhou, try to move now. Otherwise, your city will lock down later. So that's why we booked the ticket and fly back.
And then when the pandemic, firstly, it was epidemic.
Yeah.
And then pandemic. Yeah. When the epidemic was announced, so you were in Guangzhou.
In Harbin.
No, Harbin. And then you went back to Guangzhou.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And then when the situation became serious and lockdowns were happening everywhere,
mm-hmm.
So how was in Guangzhou? Same? You had to stay at home?
Same.
At
that time, the whole country locked down.
And January 2020, it was Chinese New Year holidays.
Yes.
Most of the companies were closed.
Yes.
How about yours?
Also, I can say half closed. We have some department running. They have to go to the office, but only, I think, less than 10% of people. Only few people working there. Most employees, including me, work from house. Yeah.
And did you face any situation where the company had to be closed, fully closed, or not?
Yeah, they have to.
They had to fully. Even 10% couldn't go.
Some company totally shut off, like the factory, because if you do not 100% close, people will get together, will increase the speed of infection.
Yes. And did you had fear of dying?
At that time, no.
No?
No.
Later?
No.
No.
Because we believe young people could be fine.
How about your parents?
My parents, okay. My parents, until today, they never affected, keep negative 4 years, yes.
And how about you?
I just positive for once.
Last December?
Yes.
Everyone?
Everyone.
What happened in last December?
I don't know. I remember I was the first batch who get affected, but I don't really know who gave the virus to me. I attend a meeting internally with my colleague, and the other day I got some fever and I do my test. I got 2 lens in the tester, and I think I was the third one of the whole my company. So after I returned to office, the boss, top management, hire a medical doctor who treat for domain. He gave me some suggestion because they believe I worried a lot because I'm the first guy. I gave the virus to the whole company. So they want to treat me, to comfort me.
Did you feel bad?
Actually, no. I enjoy a lot. Stay home that week, yes.
Good. And now it seems that the pandemic is over. China is finally open again.
Yeah.
But before December, there was a big discussion if China would keep the policy against COVID. I think the name was Zero COVID, something like this, right?
Yeah.
In December, all my staff in China were infected, including suppliers. Everyone were infected, not only you. And in January, China government decided to open the border firstly. What was your feeling about opening the border in November, and what was your feeling in January? Same or change your mind?
A little bit different. By that time, we thought a lot about this kind of change from government, but gradually we understand the deep reason, because we are choosing the best timing. When the virus upgrade like the software version of your phone, 3 years later, we have a very moderate version. I don't know the version of now, but it's really moderate. And I think the professors of the government already see this. So they think maybe now is the best timing to open. But by that time, the main problem is not that all the people infected. The main problem is how to keep the medicine supply stable, how to keep the weak, fragile group of people, like very old people, safe, how to make enough room or beds in hospitals. So they are focusing to solve these problems. For ordinary people, like young people, they just ensure you have the medicine. You will be okay, because virus cannot harm you too much than before. So gradually, when time come to January, we understand that should be best option for us.
So when I go to China, maybe after 1 month, so people will be scared to see me?
No.
No?
It's okay. Even during these 3 years, some people can stay. I mean, foreign people can stay in China. It's okay.
Good. Very good. Is there any lessons learned from COVID-19 that you would say?
Yeah, just like I just introduced, maybe I changed my mindset. I treasure more about families, and I balance better about my work and my families. This is the main license pandemic taught me.
And are workers in China changing their jobs due to the pandemic? Because the rate of turnover in Brazil, job turnover, increased so much. It's absolutely common, not only in our company, but everywhere. Workers move from here to there, from there to here all the time.
Yeah.
And we could see this increasing of turnover, especially from the middle of the pandemic to now. I don't know if the reason is because people are not comfortable with the jobs, or because people just want to move. Because in my point of view, the pandemic makes people leave the comfort zone. You know, if you are not fully happy with something, you change. Then we can see very clear all the companies around us losing workers and hiring workers, you know.
Yeah.
So in China, is it the same, or you don't see movement of workers?
I can say it's similar. We always recruit new members, and we not fair, but we give up some, not old, but we have some KPI. If you are in the bottom of the list, HR will attend to you and give some reasons to let you go. We have some regularly, but after pandemic, I believe not so many people left their original company for pandemic reason, because the economy is not that good than 2019. It's not so easier for people to get new jobs. Of course, better salary, not that easy. And another reason is every year we have new graduate university students coming to the market. Yeah, competition. So it's hard to keep your position in your current company. So economy is stable or going down. It's not the best timing to find a new position.
Okay, got it. And if you had to make an evaluation, a review of your whole life, so what would you say is your strongest, I rephrase, if you had to make a review of your whole life, what would you say that was really important to determine that you are now at 36, a very successful marketing and sales director.
To be very frank, some people to reach the current position not by his or her capability is occasionally, actually, is for his lucky. But if I have to make some review of my career, I want to hold myself, keep learning something like detailed skills, like language, like my major is helpful in future my career. But meanwhile, I hope I could open my mind, look more about the informations, because by that time, when I was younger, the information is not like today. Today, people do not are not lack of information. The problem is we are abused on information. So by that time, I hope I could reading more and open my mind, travel more countries. But now it's okay. I hope I could give up my cell phone and do not took so many informations, make my mind clear.
Are you going to give up your phone at 50 when you are retired?
Just for emergency, maybe a very simple Nokia.
Cell phone,
Yeah.
Nokia.
phone.
Okay. No smartphone anymore.
No WhatsApp.
No SIM card.
No. Just call the 119 for emergency or something.
Very good. So, can you leave a message to everyone who is watching you now?
Yes, maybe for the young people, just save your time, not enjoy too much when you are younger. Make your time valuable, make some readings, and do not pay too much time on TikTok. TikTok is the drugs for your man. That's the reason TikTok go to the United States, not in China anymore. I'm kidding. In China, we have a version of TikTok, but not good for kids. So be careful. Another one, I hope you can treasure your family, especially if you have your grandparents, because every day you have together with her or him is the first day of his rest life. So just treasure this.
Gary, I thank you so much for this talking,
Thank
for
you.
the visit. It was my honor to be your host today. I hope we keep not only the business, but the friendship for so many times along the years, no matter if as business partners or retired friends.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
É isso aí, pessoal. Espero que vocês tenham gostado um pouco da conversa com uma pessoa que vive uma cultura bastante diferente da nossa, que é a cultura brasileira. A primeira vez que eu tive na China foi no ano de 2006, né? Já se passaram aí 17 anos, e eu acho que é muito importante que a gente compreenda as diferenças de cultura e a gente precisa encontrar pontos de sinergia. Então, eu me considero um privilegiado de ter não só o Gary, mas diversos chineses como amigos, além de parceiros de negócio. A história chinesa, ela é muito bonita. A China tem uma cultura milenar e vale super a pena a gente se debruçar em livros e sempre que possível pegar um avião e conhecer de perto essa cultura tão impressionante. Não é só as muralhas da China, não. Também as muralhas, mas a China é muito além do que muralhas. É realmente uma cultura muito bacana. Espero que vocês tenham gostado. É isso aí. Até a próxima. A gente se vê.